He could drive a car flat out for the whole race and never fade.
Schumacher challenges Senna on the inside.
Everything was easier for him.
And the German is going through.
We grew up trying to imitate what Michael was doing.
Michael Schumacher, a record 7 World Championships, joint with Lewis Hamilton, more than Senna, Alonso and Raikkonen combined.
Michael Schumacher takes the lead.
His ability to go right out onto the edge was something which he revelled in.
That's naughty from Michael.
He was like the reference, the guy you needed to beat.
91 Grand Prix wins, 155 podiums and a record 77 fastest laps. Schumacher transformed Ferrari from a has-been team on a 21-year title drought to winning 5 championships in a row.
He's going faster and faster and faster.
We had to raise our game, basically.
He was the king of the castle.
If I have to describe Michael Schumacher in one word, he will be a hero. He's my hero.
But greatness came with scars. Adelaide, 94. The Damon Hill clash in Jerez, 97. The only driver ever disqualified from a championship. People questioned if it was his machinery, not his magic. Yet his average race pace was consistently faster over all his teammates across all seasons. So how good was prime Michael Schumacher? And is he truly the GOAT? Michael Schumacher wasn't a pay-to-win driver compared to some drivers we see on the grid, but just a little kid from Herth, Germany. Dad, Rolf, a mechanic. His mum, Elizabeth, helped keep fed by running the track's canteen.
Aber wir hatten natürlich den Vorteil, dass unsere Eltern uns rum waren, auf der Kartbahn. Und es war ein großer Spielplatz.
1981, age 12. In Germany, you need to be 14 to race, but Michael had a plan.
Du startest für Luxemburg, warum?
Weil in Deutschland müssen wir Qualifikationsläufe fahren und das kostet Geld. Und wenn wir da ausfahren, sind wir nicht für die WM qualifiziert. Und in Luxemburg sind wir als einzigster Starter und das kostet kein Geld und wir sind qualifiziert.
By 1984, he was already German junior karting champion. 1985, back-to-back the best in Germany.
Looking at the style that he was driving, it was incredible. Having a completely different driving style, the other drivers. Very controlled, the driving style was very physical.
By 1987, he started to come into his own, winning both the German and European karting championships.
Nach diesen Jahren war ich im Prinzip der Meinung, ein ewiger Go-Kart-Fahrer zu bleiben, weil ich mir nie hätte vorstellen können, mal den Einstieg in die Formelklasse zu schaffen, rein aus finanziellen Gründen.
1988, Formula Koenig Series, a German ran event to scope out talent, but it wasn't even close, 60.5 points ahead from the driver in second, but more importantly, catching the eye of a prominent figure in German motorsport, and soon to be his manager, Willy Weber. In 1989, German Formula 3, 2 divisions below the F1 promised land, signs to Willy Weber's VTS team. This is where people thought Schumacher would crumble. It was a washout. In 1990, he didn't just win F3, he had nearly double the points of the driver in 3rd place, and that includes a retirement from Schumacher in the first race. The ears on Formula 1 teams perked up pretty quickly, but he was still just a young 21-year-old down in Formula 3. Most drivers go through to Formula 2, and if they're lucky, a few seats open up every year to bring Formula 2 stars up. But for Michael Schumacher, his entry was a little more strange. It's December 10th, 1991, and Jordan's driver, Bertrand Gachot, in the heart of London, decided to get into a fistfight with a taxi driver. In self-defense, he uses pepper spray, illegal in the UK at the time. Charged with causing bodily harm with a prohibited weapon, Gachot gets thrown into jail for 2 months, leaving a gap in the team a week out from the 1991 Belgium Grand Prix. Michael's manager, Willy Weber, saw the gap.
Nachdem mir das bekannt wurde, bin ich natürlich sofort ans Telefon und habe den Eddie Jordan angerufen. Und ich sage, Eddie, du musst mir die Chance geben. Er sagt, who in the hell is Michael Schumacher? Er sagt, du erinnerst dich doch, Formel 3, Macau gewonnen, Fuji gewonnen. Okay, now I know.
I've seen him in Formula 3 and I have this, or the team has this attitude to give youth a chance.
Despite never having driven on the Spa circuit before,
when Michael qualified 7th, it was just like, wow. Here is a new star.
7th in a car he'd never driven before. But although his race did end prematurely due to clutch problems, Schumacher did make the impression he needed on the Formula 1 world.
There was a real air of excitement in the paddock. We had a sense that this was someone who was looking very promising.
As far as seasons go, 1991 you could consider a warm-up year, coming 14th overall. But in 1992, his first full season, Schumacher needed only a handful of races to look like the fastest non-Williams in the field. While Williams' new active suspension revolutionized F1, leaving Nigel Mansell untouchable, still took 9 podiums in 16 starts and finished 3rd in the championship, ahead of his experienced teammate Martin Brundle. Yes, that Martin Brundle.
Ever been punched?
Not by you. It's really good to see you. Well, I had my headphones on, so I hope he wasn't peckish for my ears.
Mexico, Michael's first podium. Despite the rain in Spain, that second place is where people started to see the wet weather superpower for the first time. But at Spa,
23 years old, the youngest Grand Prix winner for a long, long time. The first win ever for Michael Schumacher. And what a convincing one. He's over 30 seconds ahead of the new world champion, Nigel Mansell.
Mansell and Patrese may have had the car, but Schumacher already had the feel for it, scoring in 13 of 16 races. That consistency was unmatched outside the Williams garage, but to his teammate, he outqualified Brundle 16-0, while scoring him 53-38. This kid was different. Senna knew it too.
Senna smelled the guy was somebody. When you had the lion, all lion, you feel it when the young lion arrived.
Michael Schumacher wins. Alain Prost is second and the world champion of 1993. A full, brilliant championship for the French.
As much as 1993 was Williams and Senna's for the taking, Schumacher ended the year with the most points by any non-Williams or McLaren driver, even if Benetton was a step behind on downforce comparatively. This is what he can do with time. With the races he finished, he didn't position outside of the top 3 all year. That win in Portugal was a statement. The fact that he beat out the rest of the grid in a trash can compared to the behemoth Williams had created, showing the world that if he had the right car, it wouldn't even be close. 9 podiums, 4th overall against his teammate. He outqualified Riccardo Patrese 11-5. Pre-season 1994, Benetton had the time needed to adjust to Michael's demanding driving style. 1994 was relentless. Reintroduction of mid-race refueling.
The new rules mean the cars no longer have anti-lock braking systems nor active suspension, which helps cornering. Traction control computers have also been banned.
All this meant the floodgates were wide open for who would come out on top. Mercedes' dominance from 2014 to 2020 came from the introduction to the hybrid power unit. Red Bull's dominance from 2021 to 2024 came from changes to the car's aerodynamics and downforce regulations. Race 1, Brazil.
Schumacher gets the news and goes on to win by a complete lap.
Japan.
Michael Schumacher outdrags Senna into the first corner with a superb start. Another tremendous win for Michael Schumacher.
But then, race 3, Imola, 1994. One of, if not the worst weekend in F1 history.
And Senna! My goodness! I just saw him plunge off to the right.
That will link you to after this. 3rd win in a row for Michael, but to no celebration. No fanfare.
They tell me how's the hit on it, it's not in good shape. This was the first time I see Michael different guy.
Certainly no good feelings. I mean, just win a race, but I can't feel satisfied. Can't feel happy.
The next weekend in Monaco, the drivers came out to celebrate a 3-time world champion, a legend and a friend, Ayrton Senna.
With Senna gone, Michael Schumacher was now the #1 figure in the sport, although he hasn't yet won a world championship.
For Michael, he needed to put the loss behind him and perform he did. This wasn't just a great start to the season, it was a marker to show the world what was to come. 6 wins in the first 7. It seemed almost unfair, and a points gap that made Sundays feel pre-written until Silverstone.
I went around with a road car. This is a point you could be dead. This is a point you could be dead. That's the only thing I was thinking of.
On the formation lap, Schumacher overtook Damon Hill not once, but after David Coulthard broke down, bringing out a second formation lap, he did it twice before lining up in his second grid spot. Lap 14.
Car number 5, that's Michael Schumacher, has got to do a stop-go penalty.
Which he needed to serve by lap 21. He didn't, bringing out one of the rare F1 black flags.
Schumacher is going to be black flagged. What is happening to Michael Schumacher?
That means he needed to pit immediately, but Benetton ordered Michael to stay out as they screamed at the FIA.
That's what the marshal said. It's a stop-and-go penalty. The paperwork didn't say that, Roland. No? That's why, no, honestly, that's why I didn't come in.
That somehow worked. The FIA withdrew their black flag on lap 27, but by this stage, Hill was already 20 seconds out in front with no chance for Michael.
Damon Hill wins. Michael Schumacher, there he is coming home for a worthy, if delayed for his own fault, 2nd place.
16 days later, the FIA came down hard. A $500,000 fine for Benetton for ignoring the penalty and black flag. For Michael, it got worse. A disqualification from Silverstone and...
When Michael Schumacher was banned for 2 races by the sport's governing body, the championship leader also had the 6 points he won for coming 2nd deducted after breaking safety rules during the race at Silverstone 2 weeks ago.
With 0 points at Silverstone, 0 points in Germany that next week, even his teammate Jos Verstappen blew up.
Oh, and fuel. That's the first time we've had a fuel splash. Oh, my goodness.
Even with these two failures, Schumacher was still nearly doubling Damon Hill in second. But in Hungary, Michael finished by over 20 seconds to Damon Hill. Until post-race, the FIA had found Michael's wooden skid plank that sat under the car was worn down further than what regulation allowed, slapping Schumacher with yet another disqualification. It got worse. 2 days later, that two-race ban from Silverstone had finally been enforced. Schumacher could do nothing but watch. As for Williams, a dream had come true. Hill won Monza. He won Portugal. Schumacher may be back, but he returned to just 1 point in it going into the season finale. Adelaide.
And we are racing. It's Schumacher who leads from Hill.
Schumacher was finally starting to pull away from Hill, but on lap 36...
That looks, Schumacher's off. Schumacher's lost time. Yeah. Hill goes by. Oh, out goes Schumacher. The German is out. That is a fundamental mistake, I believe, from Michael Schumacher. He's turning into the left. He gets too sideways. He goes off. Schumacher's made the mistake. He hits the wall. He's damaged his own car.
With Michael out, Hill just had to survive.
Patrick Hender's looking at that left front wishbone, Hill shaking his head. He knows in his heart of hearts that it is all over. As Damon Hill retires from the Australian Grand Prix and the 1994 World Championship has been won, a lot of people will say by default, by Michael Schumacher.
Michael had done it. World champion. After the FIA cracking down hard on Michael all season and with blatant calls towards Benetton for cheating, somehow Michael escaped this one. Out of 16 races, Michael missed 4 of them, retired in 2, yet still won 8 of the 10 races. Michael's 6 pole positions to Hill's 2, 8 fastest laps to Hill's 6, and nearly tripling Hill's fastest laps with 211 to Schumacher's 646. This season, regardless of DQs and politics, was a domination. But remember, Michael was only 25. 1995, from round 1 in Brazil, he set the tone. Over 8 seconds to Coulthard in second is no small margin. Qualifying may be rocky for Schumi, but race days is where the man shines. 9 wins in 17 races. That's 53%. 11 podiums, 102 points. A demolition of Damon Hill's 69 in second.
So Michael Schumacher enters the last corner of the last race of the last lap to win the Pacific Grand Prix in Japan and to become the world champion of 1995.
At the time, the youngest double world champion, now in the hands of Sebastian Vettel in 2011, with an average win difference of 20.96 seconds over second, but in races like Spain,
Schumacher, though, in totally dominant form.
He was nearly an entire minute in front of Herbert in second.
Many observers are saying both the Benetton cars look extremely twitchy.
But Michael still rode that beast on a knife edge. Schumi was Benetton's golden boy.
No further proof is needed, but he is the best driver of his day.
They'd cracked the code, but rolling into 1996, everything changed.
The Tifosi had gathered. Michael Schumacher is now a Ferrari driver.
Klar ist einer unter vielen, die in dem Auto reinsitzen und Rennen gewinnen. Bei Ferrari ist er ein Ausnahmepilot, dem es dann gelingt, nach vielen Jahren der Abstinenz mit diesem Ferrari Rennen zu gewinnen. Und dann kam dieser Kampfgeist in ihm hoch.
Ferrari is not the team you know today. Year after year for 2 decades, straight failures. With Schumacher's new teammate, Eddie Irvine, saying,
"That car was a disaster."
He had a mountain to climb.
But surely now, with the 2 times world champion at Ferrari, this could be a time for a revival in their fortunes.
I was not looking for an easy job. The Williams team will be the main challenger.
The Ferrari F310, a brand new V10 package. But with its trash aerodynamics and brittle hydraulics, it was retirement after retirement.
And that's a problem for Schumacher already. It looks like Schumacher's engine is gone on the warm-up lap.
Michael was in the car on the back of a tow truck. It was like a symbol of impotence.
Schumacher still carved out 3 wins, 4 poles, and P3 in the championship with 59 points.
The genius of Michael Schumacher is making up for the deficiencies of the Ferrari.
That's more than Ferrari's total win tally for the period from 1991 to 1995. His teammate, Eddie Irvine, on the other hand, 8 straight DNFs, 6 being mechanical failures. That in itself told the truth about Ferrari.
To win races in that car, the greatest achievements, I would say, of any driver. It's beyond credibility how that happened. I have no idea how he could do that.
But that Williams was just unmatched. qualifying 3 to 6 tenths slower than Williams. But on race days, Michael was just a different beast. Absolutely no room for error with that driving style. The signature, Barcelona. In biblical rain, he was 2 seconds per lap faster than the field.
If you've got a terrible car, it's still a terrible car in the rain. You can't overcome that. In Barcelona, he managed to find a way of driving and coping and adapting his style. And I don't think there were many drivers who could do that. He just disappeared, and no one was anywhere near him.
Taking his 20th career win and his first in red.
Michael Schumacher wins the Spanish Grand Prix after an absolutely superlative drive.
An obvious win in Spa.
Perhaps they've turned the corner with the great Italian manufacturer.
Combined with Ferrari's first home win since 1988 in Monza, securing the team's first back-to-back win since 1990.
He always loved the rain. You can jump to a different level. And I think those are the circumstances which demonstrate the true genius.
The Tifosi started to feel that heartbeat once again.
I never have seen so many emotions, so many people enjoying themselves. Fantastic.
Williams put down 175 points. Ferrari only 70. But when that car worked, it was unmatched. But Michael had a plan. He formed a super team, bringing together Ross Brawn and Rory Byrne from Benetton, as well as Ferrari's Jean Todt. They got to work.
In that first season, I remember on the Friday night before the race, there was a car being worked on. It was Michael's car. There were 3 mechanics and Michael. I got such a strong impression of how hard Michael was willing to work, how he would be the last one in the garage every night with the mechanic, making them feel he cared about their work. And that transformed the team.
The great thing about Michael being in the team was everybody knew there was nobody could drive like he could drive.
1997.
A season that's been billed as the most competitive for years.
The car started to click. On track, he answered like a title favourite. 5 wins, 8 podiums, 3 poles, 3 fastest laps, 78 points on the road, and 300 laps led, second only to Villeneuve's 348, out-qualifying Eddie Irvine's 16-1. These were all incredible from a car that only just removed its training wheels. But then came Jerez, the final race of the season. Michael leading the championship by 1 point. Qualifying brought about the first freak event of the weekend.
I cannot believe this. Benetton has done exactly the same time.
3 different drivers with exactly the same qualifying time, down to 1,000th of a second. Our F1 records that won't be beaten video goes into more detail on this. But now, on race day,
What do you think will be the key to victory here? Well, first of all, not being taken off.
Schumi had led 40 of the first 47 laps, but on lap 48,
Michael Schumacher very slow. I wonder if he's got something like a slow puncture. Villeneuve is all over him, look. He's going through. Oh, yes. I don't think. Out goes Michael Schumacher. That didn't work. That didn't work, Michael. You hit the wrong part of him, my friend. I don't think that will cause Villeneuve a problem.
here we go again, this time ramming the side of Villeneuve's Williams, but to no avail. The Ferrari beached in the gravel trap. It was Villeneuve's for the taking, and he took it.
Hit me was really hard. I'm surprised that I could actually finish. I couldn't go more on the inside. I was actually on the grass. Michael had his eyes closed.
Michael came back to the pits convinced that Jacques had hit him, and then when we showed him the video, he realised that wasn't the case.
Michael took second place in the championship, but the FIA wasn't done there.
How you feeling, Michael?
Although the act was apparently deliberate, it was instinctive and it was not premeditated.
I'm as much human being as anyone, and things can happen to me as they can happen to anyone else.
Michael wasn't just disqualified from the race, but the entire season. No one else in F1 history has been personally excluded from a completed world championship like this. Michael was unanimously better than everyone else, but Michael's biggest opponent was himself.
In his mind, Jacques Villeneuve had hit him. He wasn't putting on an act, and it was one of those moments that Michael had 2 or 3 times in his career. His commitment, his competitiveness, dedication just went that one step too far. I think he overstepped the mark that day.
He overstepped the mark when he really didn't need to, because was there like this paranoid perfection that he needed to always to do more, to prove more to himself? A lot of the time he was racing himself.
1998. Adrian Newey, the mastermind behind F1's fastest cars, left Williams for McLaren and turned that McLaren into a beast as new regulations got introduced.
Schumacher, who'd been developing the Ferrari, making it more and more competitive, discovered that he had a new rival, the latest flying Finn, Mika Häkkinen.
Michael was still terrifyingly fast, but Ferrari team once again just couldn't keep up. the theme throughout Schumacher's career.
McLaren was just fundamentally so much better. There was no way we were going to catch up. That really got to him.
6 wins in 16 races, 11 podiums, 3 poles, 86 points. Silverstone crossing the line in the pit lane while serving a late time penalty.
Oh, that means he'll win the race because he crosses the start-finish line now, I believe. Well, yes, it's lap 60 to take his penalty, but the race is over, surely.
But even at the staple that was Spa, from the start,
David Coulthard into the wall will stop the race.
They'll have to red flag this.
Terrible. Look, this is quite appalling. This is the worst start for a Grand Prix that I have ever seen in the whole of my life.
In these appalling conditions.
Oh, God! Michael Schumacher hits David Coulthard and is out of the Belgian Grand Prix. Look at him. He's saying, I'm going to the stewards. He's going to Coulthard. He's going to have it out with David Coulthard.
to another bane of Michael's career, Japan, the final race of the season, just 4 points behind Mika Häkkinen, who starts in P2.
Just to his left, in front of him, the scarlet Ferrari of that man.
But then,
we've got another yellow flag. That's Michael Schumacher. That is Michael Schumacher. Will he end up on the back of the grid?
Michael Schumacher has almost certainly lost the World Championship before this race even begins.
lap 31.
Schumacher puncture.
Is that a right rear
puncture? It's all happening to Michael Schumacher today. Out of the race. World champion of 1998.
It ended up being too much. Michael was second in the championship. Again, regardless of how the season ended, he still outscored his teammate Irvine 86-47 and matched the McLarens across 11 podiums, proving that in the refueling era, Ferrari's strategy could be weaponized. I wish the same could be said about Ferrari's strategy today.
You want me to just sit here, start the whole race?
I'll come back to you.
In China, I got out of the way when you're on a different strategy.
Understood. We swapped the cars.
Have a tea break while you're at it.
In 99, the opening third of the season looked like Schumacher's coronation tour. San Marino, win. Monaco, win, leading all 78 laps. Then the season snapped. Silverstone.
In Silverstone through the circuit, and I just thought, this is a point you could be there, this is a point you could be there.
A rear brake failure pitched the F399 straight into Stowe Corner. A broken right leg, but at that point, the title contention was dead. If they could just crack the case of reliability, Michael Schumacher and Ferrari would have everything they would need to dominate the sport of Formula One.
Et à un moment donné, on se demande, mais est-ce que Michael, c'est le pilote qui doit rester chez nous? Ou alors est-ce qu'on ne devrait pas avoir quelqu'un comme Häkkinen?
But at the turn of the millennia, in the year 2000, that code had been cracked.
It's like a war. If you don't go all in, then you're not going to come out on top. And that is the philosophy of Michael Schumacher.
Ferrari hadn't won a driver's title since 1979, but in the year 2000, Schumacher crushed that stat with 9 wins in 17 races, 12 podiums, 108 points. But that F1 2000 wasn't untouchable. Australia.
The Ferrari team gets ready to celebrate as Schumacher takes his first ever Australian Grand Prix victory.
He finished the race 0.5 seconds per lap faster than everyone. Brazil.
Michael Schumacher wins in Brazil. 2 races, 2 wins.
San Marino.
And the 3rd successive victory for Michael Schumacher.
Car, strategy, everything just was right.
3 wins in the first 4 set a tone. Monza.
Michael Schumacher win at Monza and Italy, closed the gap between himself and Mika Häkkinen to 2 points.
This is your 41st victory, which puts you in equal second all time with Ayrton Senna. Do those records mean a lot to you?
Yes, it does mean a lot to me. Sorry.
Suzuka. Ferrari fueled Michael to run longer than Mika Häkkinen at the final stop.
Here's the pit stop, James.
He's made half a second on Häkkinen on this lap. He had a 26.8 second lead. I think it's going to be enough, guys. If this stop is anything, yes, it's definitely going to be enough. He's going to do it.
Michael Schumacher rejoining the track and he's ahead of Mika Häkkinen.
That quick-fire pit stop was enough to fire Schumi out just ahead of Häkkinen, securing the World Championship with a race in hand.
Now we will see joy. Look at that.
Even Even with a few mid-season DNFs, he still led for 548 laps, more than both McLaren drivers combined. It was Michael's third title, but first in red. Michael had controlled his demons for the most part. Ferrari remained consistent. This was just the start.
When he finally clinched the title in 2000, all the pressure that he'd carried on his shoulders was released.
2001, 9 wins, 14 podiums, 11 poles, 123 points. That's 2 times the amount of points of David Coulthard in second. A washout that wasn't even close, leading for 533 laps, doubling the Williams duo combined, and miles ahead of McLaren. The records were already starting to shatter, and of course, it was at Spa he delivered his record-breaking 52nd win to pass Alain Prost.
He does it! Michael Schumacher wins and becomes the most successful Grand Prix driver of all time. Amazing career of 158 Grand Prix. He has won 1/3 of them.
Barcelona, 40.7 seconds ahead, and with the average lap pace sitting at 1 minute 24, he was half the track away. That's over a mile and a half. 2002, from being 18 seconds ahead in the first race,
We're gonna have a nice glass of wine or a bottle, and then we see.
the year Michael calmed those demons within, 17 podiums out of 17. 100%, the only man in Formula One to achieve this insane feat, with only Alberto Ascari in 1952 from a technicality at the Indy 500. 7 poles, 7 fastest laps, 144 points. A blowout doesn't even cut it. Last season he doubled the laps led of the Williams drivers. This year he led 558 laps, which was more than the next 3 drivers combined. Michael was flawless. This was the man people knew he could be from that first race at Spa back in 1991. No mechanical DNFs, flawless strategy by the boys in red, with the team leading for 865 laps. No other constructor cleared 120. After the win at the French Grand Prix, Schumacher secured his 5th World Championship with 6 races still to go, the earliest title clinch in Formula One history. 2003. Michael was winning by such massive numbers that the point system changes this season, expanding points to the top 8 now, with second place getting 8 points, not the previous 6. He still shone so far beyond the rest of the grid. 6 wins, 8 podiums, 5 poles, 5 fastest laps, 93 points. Take Monza, the temple of speed. He didn't just win, he beat the fastest average speed ever reached in a Grand Prix at the time. Ferrari with Bridgestone tyres were a match made in heaven. Low drag tyres and Michael precision, the stuff of beauty. That single race proved who Michael truly was. No drama, just literally faster than everyone else on the grid. But this season wasn't a blowout. Why? The new Parc Fermé rules started to make massive dents in Ferrari's strategy game, as now you qualified with your race fuel and started the race with it. Look at the second half of the season. 3 podiums in the last 8 races. Michael only beat Kimi Raikkonen by 2 points. Times were changing. Ferrari and Michael knew they needed to put on a masterclass to stay ahead, but in 2004, no one could expect the sheer onslaught that came the other team's way. This is the most dominant title of the modern era, behind Max Verstappen's 2023 run. The F2004 is known as one of, if not the greatest F1 car ever built. 13 wins in 18 races, 15 podiums. He won 12 of the first 13, the only blemish in Monaco after a safety car incident.
Michael Schumacher gets his 7th Formula One World Championship on a truly eventful day for Formula One racing. This is history.
His teammate, the legendary Rubens Barrichello, had an excellent year and yet still trailed Michael's win total 16-2. 683 of the season's 1,122 laps he led, more than the next 6 drivers combined. This is why Michael is often known as the GOAT to most. But of course, things were about to change once again.
A single set of tyres has to last for the qualifying and the entire race, unless there's tyre damage. Changing tyres and refueling at the same time is not allowed. The result, harder tyre compounds.
Also, with the front wing raised by 50mm, the rear wing moved forward, and bodywork tweaks, less downforce, less grip, making the cars slide more. Michael's driving style at its core was finding grip where others couldn't. Ferrari's core strategy was short sprints on grippy tyres, with Bridgestone not able to keep up anymore, with tyres needing to last the whole race and Michael needing that downforce to shine around corners. Ferrari effectively got nerfed, and that changed everything. 2005, Michelin cars thrived. Well, except for Schumacher's only victory of the year, and that race is still one of the worst races in the sport's history. The infamous 2005 USA Grand Prix. 6 starters, as Michelin tyres kept trying to kill everyone in the practice sessions.
Only I'm sorry. I think so the message, I'm sorry for the public, I'm sorry for the spectator, I'm sorry for the people watching TV, I'm sorry.
They're stunned, we're stunned.
It's the strangest race ever. Predictably, Michael Schumacher leads away from Rubens Barrichello. There's been so much controversy in his career. Always he seems to be in the middle of it. This time, not necessarily his fault. Across the line goes Michael Schumacher.
Don't you think it's all a bit sad today?
That's why we've been here, everybody. But we're all humans, and sometimes some humans can do mistakes, and we have to accept that.
Yet somehow still finished P3 in the championship. He may not have won much, but it did reaffirm his GOAT claim. That car, with all these new regulations, shouldn't have podium pace. Yet snagging 5 podiums in a season that tried to hold him down showed the calibre of the man. He was the top Bridgestone scorer by miles, finishing with 62 points, with his teammate Barrichello scoring only 38. Michael knew his reign was coming to an end. In a rare admission of vulnerability, Schumacher admitted, "I don't think I can count myself in this battle anymore. I was trying to fight with a blunted weapon. If your weapons are weak, you don't have a chance." Sadly, he was right. 2006, with tyre changes back and V8s dropping 200 brake horsepower less, this was the season of Alonso versus Schumacher. Michael staged a comeback. He craved an 8th World Championship. All season, it was either Schumacher or Fernando Alonso, the current defending world champion. But with a few races to go, September 10th, 2006 in Italy, Michael Schumacher told the world.
At the end of this year, I've decided together with the team that I'm going to retire from racing.
This was it, his final chance at a world championship, and it all led down to Japan. But then...
That is Schumacher out of the race. A catastrophic, what looks like an engine failure, and it's all over for Michael Schumacher. The dream looks like it's over.
And that was that. Alonso was a back-to-back world champion. For a season as close as this, Ferrari and Renault tied as teams for laps led, 520 to 520, a near unheard of stat. But a pioneer, pushing this sport to the very limit and showing the world what can be possible. A man who we'd never see again. Sort of.
Straight to breaking news coming in. Ferrari has confirmed that 7-time world champion Michael Schumacher will take a sensational return to Formula One.
You told us at that time you weren't missing the buzz of Formula One, but now you're back.
Yeah, you see how quick things can change.
With Mercedes at the helm, it was time for the return of the king. 2010, 9th in the championship. 2011, 8th. 2012, 13th. For an old man, there were glimpses of the man he once was, especially for his second home, Spa. Starting P24 in 2011, he gained 19 positions to snag P5 on the 20th anniversary of his debut. One last record, Valencia 2012.
And it's Michael Schumacher for the first time since 2006 to come home on the podium and give his fans what they've been waiting for ever since his return to the sport.
Makes Michael the oldest man on the podium since Jack Brabham at the 1970 British Grand Prix.
43 years, 173 days. His second stint in F1 may not have added to his trophy cabinet, but it also didn't tarnish the legacy of the man. The question that remains is, why Michael? What made him stand out? Not just against the rest of the grid, but recognised as one of, if not the best F1 driver of all time. What no one knew yet was Michael's biggest challenge was just around the corner.
7-time Formula One champion Michael Schumacher is in critical condition after he banged his head while skiing in the French Alps.
Michael Schumacher, the most successful driver in Formula One history, is in the hospital recovering from a skiing accident.
On a family skiing trip in the French Alps, Michael ventured off-piste, striking a hidden rock, catapulting him forward. Despite wearing a helmet, the impact was severe enough to cause a traumatic brain injury.
But when his condition worsened, he was transferred to the larger, better-equipped hospital in Grenoble.
On his arrival, he was in a coma. He was suffering from a serious brain trauma. It required an immediate neurosurgical operation. He remains in a critical condition.
The precise details of the moment remain private, but the consequences were immediate and profound.
The news that Michael Schumacher is now continuing his rehabilitation at home is certainly good for his family.
As months turned into years, his family, led by his wife Corinna, established a protective barrier around him, fiercely guarding his privacy.
Und Michael hat uns immer beschützt. Und jetzt beschützen wir Michael.
But why exactly is Michael Schumacher known as one of, if not the greatest F1 driver of all time? The answer? Even when he didn't have the best car, he was still the best driver on the grid. Split his career into 3 acts: Benetton Brilliance, Ferrari Rebuild, Ferrari Dynasty. Rain is where he broke races in half.
Wir sind als Kinder mit Snicks nur im Regen gefahren und da entwickelt man eben ein unglaubliches Gefühl. Fahrzeugbeherrschung, kann man eben diese Wunder vollbringen, die sonst eigentlich gar nicht möglich sind.
Spain 96, even with the clutch drama at the start.
Schumacher has been left at the start.
He still clawed his way back, placing 45 seconds over second at the flag. Monaco 97, plus 22 seconds by lap 5, plus 53.3 at the finish. Strategy? Refueling turned Grand Prix into sprints. But Michael turned Ferrari from a team who hadn't won since 1979 to the team it is today. A driver is only as good as his team, and he knew it. He engineered a culture, bringing Jean Todt, Ross Brawn and Rory Byrne into the same orbit. They became unstoppable, a joint record of 7 world championships with Lewis Hamilton, 91 wins, 68 poles, 77 fastest laps, 2002, that 100% podium record, 2004, 13 wins in 18. This man was different. That Ferrari team was different. It was domination like no one at the time had seen before, a reason why many consider him the GOAT. Like, and oh look, the subscribe button just lit up. The Grid, out.